G'day everyone, Sparkydave here. Happy New Year. This video is back to basics, demonstrating how to correctly strip and terminate TPS cable. Stripping cable is a bit of an art and practice makes perfect. I would advise to grab a couple of meters of TPS cable to practice stripping with if you are new to the trade. Hit the like button right now if you'd like more of this type of content in 2023. Ensure you read and understand the disclaimer before watching this video. What I've got here is some 1mm TPS, and the tools I need are either pliers or side cutters. I'll show you using them both. To strip the end of TPS, you can make a wee indent in the cable softly to where you want to cut to. Sometimes that helps square the cable up when you cut it off at the end or snap it off. The first thing you can do is cut between two of the cable cores. Grab one end with the end of your side cutters and peel it back to that line that you've made. Once you're there, simply cut the insulation away or snap it off. To strip the cable ends, cut them to length, and then you want to grip it softly around the insulation, circle it around a wee bit, so you've made a wee indent around the cable without digging into the copper at all. The secret is not to dig into the copper, especially on these 1mm cables, because you will end up creating a weak spot where the copper will snap. The second step is once you've created an indent all the way around on the TPS, grab the cable with your other hand tightly, use your thumb and press hard against your side cutters. As you can see close up, there is no marks or indentations in the copper at all. Marks and indentations will look like this. And so you can see that creates a weak spot where the cable core will snap when you try and twist it or terminate it. If you do make an indentation, just cut it off and start again. The next tool we're looking at using are pliers. Again, you can create a nice wee mark on the cable to where you want to cut to. This time we're going to pinch the outside of the insulation and break it off. So again, we use the technique where we hold our fingers around the cable and push against our pliers with our thumb. Then simply grab the cable core from the side and peel it back. And then cut the excess insulation off. Same with pliers. Cut around the insulation. Do not create an indent in the copper, and use the same pushing mechanism on the pliers. And as you can see, that's a perfect strip. Again, an indentation is going to look a wee bit like that. It's just a wee mark, but it will weaken the integrity of the 1mm and snap. When you are proficient at using side cutters, with 1mm cable, you can apply pressure to the insulation, use a bit more force, and end up stripping the outer insulation off without compromising any of the cores. Do not try this until you're really proficient with using the side cutters to strip cable off. Again, with stripping these ones off, we can do all three at once, much the same way, just like that. And as you can see, they're all stripped perfectly. Now to terminate these, we fold them all in half. So we can get our pliers on there and simply fold them all in half together. The reason we fold the copper over on these 1mm cables is to increase the overall surface area that the terminal screw then can clamp down onto. Generally, terminations are the highest point of resistance on a circuit, and therefore we want to minimize that by creating as much surface area and contact as possible at the termination. Now, as you can see, the length of insulation here is not adequate for use because it is far too short. Generally, we leave a hand and a thumb length from the edge of your flush box. So I will be stripping the outer insulation sheath all the way back to here generally. So that's a nice quick way of preparing 1mm TPS for fitting off. What I have here is some 1.5mm stranded cable. Now it's slightly different from the solid core I've just worked with. So for the ends of these stranded cables, when we strip them off, it's exactly the same. We do not want to compromise any of the copper cores. So we create an indent all the way around on the insulation and then use our thumb and strip it off. And as you can see, there is no indents in the copper, therefore the copper has not been compromised. With stranded cable, we want to twist it up and if possible, fold it over into our terminal. Again, if you end up snapping one of the cores, cut the end off and start again. On this one, I'll create an indent on the copper core to show you what happens if we don't strip off properly. So here I've pushed a little hard on the middle core. As you can see, there is a slight bit of damage on it from pinching into the copper. Now, if I twist this one up nice and tightly, you may have heard it, it just snapped off. So that break is going to end up increasing resistance in this part of the cable. Therefore, it's going to create heat. So if this happens, always cut the end back off and start again. And that there is what you're looking for. Perfect all the way round. When we are joining cable, the first thing we want to make sure is that the copper length between the insulation and the end of the copper is exactly the same. For this part, you don't want to cut it any shorter than 1 centimetre. The longer the better, because you can always trim it down at the end. To join cables, we splay the copper cores out. Then we place the two cables together. So that each core is going to twist round a different pair. Then we grab our pliers and we can start twisting them together. In a perfect twist, you're going to see one central cable that's longer than the rest of them. Trim the end off so it's perfectly even. And you can always tweak it to tighten it up a wee bit if it does loosen it. That there is a perfectly twisted cable ready for termination. Thanks for watching everyone. Smash the like button. And I hope you learned something new today. Cheers.